Spiritual healing, spiritual healing, spiritual healing with Yogi Drawback. Peace and blessings, my beautiful spirit beings. Welcome again to Spiritual Healing with Yogi Drawback. And yes, today is a beautiful sunny day. The winter is getting out now, and you can see the wind and the dust is starting. But we appreciate every season as it comes. What is Christ consciousness according to me? Christ consciousness is a state where one is in connection with the divine. This state of consciousness, people who have achieved this state of consciousness are known as Christ or Buddhas, or Illuminati, Umkanyiselwa. These are beings that have achieved this higher level of consciousness. And achieving this higher level of consciousness, it means you are now connecting the lower self with the higher self, and it becomes one thing in a way that you are no more concerned with the mundane, but you are now into the spirit realm where everything is not defined by time or even space, but you know that everything happens everywhere, anytime, however you want it to manifest or however you want it to become into this physical existence. So a way to achieve this level of consciousness is by studying the teachings of these avatars who have achieved this level of consciousness. And the first teaching they teach about is love, and to be precise is that it's unconditional love. Being a being of love and light, this is how you are able to achieve the state of consciousness, which is the Christ consciousness or the Buddha consciousness, or even some might say Krishna consciousness. This level of consciousness is reached by beings who have now practiced a way to connect the physical being with the spiritual being, or the lower self with the higher self. Spirit and matter becomes one. And when you study their teachings, they teach about love, yes, and they also have other teachings which are devotional service. Devotional service, one might see devotional service as putting an idol on an altar and worshiping that idol, but it's much complex than that, much complexier than that. It's more of serving the whole, serving source, and source is in everything. Source creator is in everything. It can be in a tree, it can be in a rock, it can be in the ocean, it can be in anything that it wants to be, but is in everything at the same time. Simultaneously, the source is in everything, So its divine energy is the energy within me, is the energy within the oceans, is the energy within the trees, the plantation, the earth, the air, the fire. Everything is source, and everything is the divine supreme creator, So when you start giving that devotional service to this divine energy, you give this devotional service by spreading love, by spreading positivity, by observing good moral views and practicing the right consciousness towards every living being. And I'm not saying the human being alone, but I'm talking about the creeping things, the flying things, the swimming things. Every living being deserves your love, deserves that devotional service of love and care, compassion, selflessness. Yes, I know there are carnivores, there are different kinds of these divine beings, but we learn about them and we learn how to serve them and how to be in good harmonious connection and coexisting with them here in this universe. I'm not just talking about in Earth alone, but I'm speaking about all planets, you know what I mean? So when you study these divine beings, they teach that also yoga and meditation is the way to rise that consciousness, to open up all those chakras within, all those cells within, you know. And when opening up these energy pools is through the practice of yoga. You find the practice of Kundalini yoga, and you find the practice as well of Ujjayi, these different kinds of meditations and yoga. You are able to help that lower level of consciousness to rise, and so it can be in one with the divine consciousness. Let us study the teachings that these avatars have shared with us. I believe that if they were able to reach that highest level of consciousness, if they were able to love as they did love, be compassionate beings and selfless beings as they are, I believe that what they were teaching is something that might put us in that path to nirvana, you know. So yeah, we can debate about whose religion is the first or the original and all that, but it's never gonna help us, you know. What will help us is to study the teachings and see if these teachings, these practices that they teach, is it helping us in any way? And if it is helping us in any way, let us share it amongst ourselves and not be so selfish about it, but share it with everyone. Pay it forward, because you receive these teachings, so doesn't mean those who don't have access to these teachings deserve not the divine love of source, you know. So I'm saying thank you for watching, and may you subscribe to the channel, like and share with your friends. Comment below on what you think on my view of Christ consciousness, and yeah, share with me your views so I can pick your ways of thought, or I can see how you see a source creator, you know. Thank you so much. May you have a blissful life. Namaste, Hotep Rastafari.